Today, we are pleased to visit with the driving force, the storyteller, the strategist behind We Supply America and the Force for Good movement. Over the past few years, our guest has crisscrossed the country to document the people at the heart of distribution: drivers, warehouse associates, sales reps, and leaders, capturing how purpose, culture, and community power this industry forward. And after that, you would think he was done, but he wasn't. There's always another meaningful project on the
Is.
horizon. And so, who is this guy? Dirk Beveridge. Welcome to the program. How are you?
Jeff, man, I am blessed and I'm honored to be here with you. And in the green room, we were just saying 4.5 years ago, man, when I pulled out, we're going to talk about this. You were there on day one when I started We Supply America. Sun was rising. We did a live broadcast. You've been there, man, and I appreciate you. And I appreciate you. I appreciate ISSA. I appreciate your members, man. Thank you.
It is a privilege to work with you, Dirk. I'm glad we're doing this today. So, you've done a lot, but there might be one person out there that doesn't know who Dirk Beveridge is. So, tell us about yourself and your professional career path in under an hour, Dirk.
You know me, dude. You know me. You know me. You know me. All right. So super quick. 40 years consultant to the industry, right? Wrote two great landmark books for the National Association of Wholesalers, Driving Distributors Beyond and Innovate: How Successful Distributors Drive Change in um, Disruptive Times. And Jeff, then COVID happened, right? And after 40 years of walking into distribution manufacturing businesses through the front door for the last 5 years on the We Supply America tour, crossing this country over 54,000 miles, stopping at over 100 different distributors, 10 different manufacturers. Something different happened. I pulled that RV up to the back doors and walked in through the back door of these businesses. And it really brings to light a question for all of our listeners today. When is the last time you walked into your business through a different door? Because when you do, you see your business, you see the industry, you see your people through a different lens and a different perspective. And that's what's happened to me, And those miles have changed me, Jeff. They've reminded me that the strength of any business and the soul of America starts with the human being.
54,000 miles, that's more than twice around the world in that RV.
Dude, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Okay. I left 4.5 years ago with no business plan, no business model, never having made a documentary film in my life, not knowing what the hell I was doing. I thought I was going out to go champion the noble calling of distribution, and we did do that. But what I learned is the real story is not about the brick and mortars. It's not about the processes. It's not about the systems. It's not about the technology. Today, it's not even about the AI. What I learned is that it's about the people. In the end, man, depends on how deep you want to go philosophically here, because I'm going deep into philosophical thinking right now as a result of all this. But in the end, Jeff, it's about people and it's
Yes.
about life and it's about helping individuals go from just getting by to living fully alive. And we can do that in our businesses, in our cultures, in the way we lead.
You said you started about 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Thinking about the first year and now this past year, how different are those
Oh,
years?
oh, Jeff. Well, look at me. As I say, if my father was still with me, okay, and I was on this, all right, I can't show you. I don't have socks, black socks up to my knees anymore. Okay. I don't have wingtip shoes on right now. I'm not in an IBM white shirt and an IBM blue suit right now. My father, if he saw me, would be rolling over in his grave right now. Okay. So it's absolutely different in so many ways. But here's one way that sticks out. I'm going to go to my father again, who was my mentor. One of the things my mentor taught me, my father taught me, was never overexpose yourself to your people, to your customers. Get out of every dinner that you can get out of, right? Go in, say your thing, and then run out. And what I've learned is, pardon the language, that's bullshit. And I think it's always been wrong, but the narrative has been that I believe the future is human. I believe it's always been human, but we lost sight of it. I think, okay, philosophically, Jeff, from the Industrial Revolution on, we have dehumanized work. We have dehumanized culture. We have dehumanized business to the point where, look what Amazon did today. They laid off 12 or 14,000 people today. All of those people were just numbers. They were just cogs in a big wheel. And we have the opportunity right now. We are at such a unique moment in time in history to rehumanize business, to rehumanize our cultures. And by the way, our people are yearning for it. Leaders are yearning to lead in that way. And today we are being called to strip away all of this falsehood, all of this, these false narratives. And we got to think deeply about them because they're so ingrained. 40 years ago, we were told to be loyal to the company. Today, we need to be loyal to ourselves, to be authentic to ourselves and have belief in ourselves that as I grow, as I better myself, as I step into the best person I can be, boy, that ripples into my team, into my culture, into my performance, into my productivity, into everything that I do. So yes, maybe, thank you for the question. Yes, maybe the number one difference I see in those 40 years is today we're saying, take off the veil, take off the mask, be who you are, bring your best self, get better today, screw it. Not for the good of the company. Yes, of course, for the good of the company. Don't get me wrong, but for yourself. Because, sorry, you're here just a short damn time, man. And you know what? Too many of us are just getting by. Look at depression rates. Look at loneliness rates. Look at drug use. Look at alcohol use. Look at all of these metrics. And we have the opportunity to step back, realize, I call it, Jeff, the first principle. My first principle is life. Life. It's not the robotics. It's not AI. It's not the process. It's not the systems. It's life. And we spend 50% of our time, we spend 50% of our time at work. Don't you think we should think about how we bring ourselves to that 50% of our lives to bring joy and fulfillment and purpose to that? There's the opportunity. That wasn't what was discussed 40 years ago. That's our tremendous opportunity and our calling today. It's both a strategic opportunity for businesses today, and yes, I believe a moral calling.
Vote for Dirk.
I'm sorry. I took a breath before we started. I said, I'm not going to go on these riffs. I went on a riff.
That was a good rant and a lot of value there because that's how we should look at things from a different lens. And your first year to now. But you know what? You're not done. I want to talk about current projects and
Yeah.
what you're doing next and what impact you're seeing. And I am a subscriber to your newsletter.
Thank you.
I get it every Sunday, I believe it is, the
Yep,
day it
yep,
comes out.
yep,
Good day for reflection.
yep.
Talk about
That's
that. You
Thank you.
you could be
So
on a beach, Dirk. You could be just
I
relaxing. What's going on? Talk about that.
so Jeff, first of all, I will never retire. I will never retire because I think there's too much in me to bring out. I really believe that. Okay. So as a result of this journey of the last 5 years, my brilliant partner, Bethany Hepler, and I sat down And we asked, what did we learn? What did we see? And Jeff, I sometimes put up these logos on 4 different slides of the 4 years, the 100 different businesses we stopped at. And during one of our strategy sessions, I told Bethany this. I said, Bethany, when I'm on my deathbed, I will not remember the logos. What I said is, I'm going to remember the people. And I'm going to remember the stories of the people that we've met. And we've met people like Chico in St. Louis, who told us at one point in his life there was no light at the end of the tunnel. To Adela, who decided to trust her internal voice, despite what all of her friends said, despite what all of her coworkers said, and said that she could step into a better paying position within the distribution center, and has become just an amazing forklift operator that inspires the living daylights out of me. And so Bethany and I thought deeply about where we're going. And you've heard me say that I believe that the future is human. I believe that in the end, it's all about people. So Bethany and I have launched what we call the FAM. The FAM stands for the Fully Alive Movement. We are on a mission. And Jeff, nothing is going to stop us. We are on a mission to empower 1 million people in distribution and manufacturing to rise from just getting by to living fully alive. Our first step is our Sunday newsletter, The FAM. As you said, we send it out at 7-Eleven Sunday morning, every Sunday morning, because that's our mind is the family is still asleep. Grab your coffee, open up this email, and reflect on yourself, on your life, and on what you want so that you can live fully alive. We are now bringing this message to the stage through my keynote speaking and the workshops that we've developed to help individuals truly understand what it means to go from just getting by to living fully alive, and how leaders can apply that in their businesses. All of this is in motion. In 2026, we are going to launch the FAM community, where we are going to bring people together both digitally and in person. Those individuals who want to work harder on themselves than on their job. One more time, who want to work harder on themselves than on their job to truly grow and flourish and thrive and to live, yes, fully alive, but they have dreams, they have goals, they have a soul that is calling them forward. We want to help them. We want to help them listen to that dream, to those goals, to that soul, and help them take that next step forward.
Thank you, Dirk. Good strategy on delivering the message and what it says. It has great content. So for those that would like to sign up, your LinkedIn profile, I think, is a great access for that. I don't get your email and then get coffee. I'm out doing my miles on the sidewalk, so I'm reading it on my phone and probably running into things. Imagine that.
Imagine that. Is that how you do it, Jeff? Is that?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
And I tend to read stuff like what you send at that time because
Fantastic.
there's no other distractions.
Right. And exactly. So I'm out today. I'm going deep into Friedrich Nietzsche right now, and right, and on these walks, right? Boom, it's amazing. But I'm curious, if you don't mind, you're a focus group of one for me right now, and for the listeners, why did you subscribe to the FAM? And if you could describe why you open it each Sunday, why is that?
Did this interview just get switched?
It did.
Okay. So Dirk, you and I go way back as mentioned.
Yep.
You're one of my first interviews when I started my video program. And I remember that day we talked about how the pandemic would be I thought just a short time, and we discovered it wasn't.
Yep.
So we did a lot of work together over the years. So one, it's branding. I knew who you were, and I knew your message would be good, so that was part of why I did it. The
Thank you.
other is when I started to look at it, it's got a nice inspirational message in every email product you put out, and it helps you reflect on what's going on in your life. So you think about, you mentioned some people are lost. You mentioned the one who was the first person you mentioned, the in
Chico,
St. Louis. Hmm.
Chico, yeah, who saw no light at the end of the tunnel.
Not everyone's like that, but some people may have moments of that. And I can see that in almost everyone. No matter how happy you might be in the moment, you're going to have moments when you need that inspiration, that lift. And that's what those messages do. They get you to think, to reflect, and to dig deeper into what's really important. Because if you're not enjoying what you're doing, you don't have to give up what you're doing, but you need to figure out what it is so you can
So
get
well,
your mind on the right track. So, several reasons why I think it's a valuable project, and I had no idea about the big plan coming out. So that's something that the industry, anyone can look forward to.
yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. And Jeff, can I go to something you said? You know, everyone can relate to this, right? If it's Chico, Adela, or whomever. Um, Real quick, I'll try to make this real quick story. After 9/11, I started a nonprofit to support our troops. It was called We Do Care, and it went global. We had, for 7 years, I produced a 9.11 mile run on this weekend closest to 9/11, and it was run here in Barrington, Illinois, in Guantanamo Bay, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Afghanistan, NATO headquarters, Germany, and and as a result of that, Secretary Rumsfeld asked me to be part of this JCOC group, Joint Civilian Orientation Group, a week indoctrinate, immersed into the U.S. military. Anyway, our host for that was a one-star general, Air Force. After that program, he went on, he got promoted twice, become a three-star general. He owned all of Saudi Arabia. And because he was a reservist, at the same time he was in the military, he was a United Airlines 777 pilot, retired after 20 years there as well. Could you imagine those two pensions coming together? Wow. Right. Here's my point. I didn't know he had subscribed to my newsletter, to the fam. A month ago, when we wrote about the vital force, focusing on your mind, body, spirit, and soul to bring the energy that life is going to demand of you, he wrote me. And he said, Dirk, I don't know why I'm so low. I don't know why I don't have the energy. He says, I'm at the point that I'm asking, what is the point? So to your point, Jeff, what we're talking about in the fam, this need, this human need to rise from just getting by to living fully alive, title, income, location, job, it impacts us all. From that warehouse associate to the CEO. This is truly, this is truly what we are all searching for. How do I grow as a person? All the rest will follow. That's what we're focused on at the fam.
Thank you for that, Dirk. Good
Yeah.
words. We're about out of time. We covered all the questions I really wanted to have ask because you kind of shared
Sorry.
information that helped with that. So thank you. But Dirk, you know what? What you have talked about today is valuable to everyone, not just leadership.
Yes,
You
sir.
agree?
Yeah, without question.
Those that watch this production may be mainly the leaders in industry, the ones that own or run these distribution centers.
Yeah.
I want you to wrap it up by sharing just a couple of thoughts, what you would like to see them do with this information to help their people.
Yeah. So, um, oh, okay. I know we're running a little low on time. So, most of the businesses we've stopped at are the independent, family owned, employee owned distribution and manufacturing businesses. That's just one lens, if you will. But I would say this I would say embrace your strength. Many of your members are local. You have generational stories behind you. You are stewards of the community, of the business, of the industry, of livelihoods, of families that have been interacting with you and your business and your customers for generations. Embrace the humanity and commit and rethink how you can help people not just grow on the job, not just professionally, but personally as well. And Jeff, if you don't mind, a quick story to wrap up. When I was in Athens, Greece, walking the steps of Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle, right? To bring all of this wisdom to what we're doing in today's world and our work here at the FAM. I learned that Plato and Aristotle taught to 20% of the Athenians, the politically powerful, the wealthy, the aristocracy. 80% were not invited in to that learning. The same model is happening today. In our businesses, 20% of our employees rise up and you reinvest in their leadership, in their sales training, in helping them advance in their career. That means 80% of our employees fall into what I call the no further development zone. How crass do we want to get here, Jeff? Some might call that a crime of management, a crime of leadership. They spend 50% of their waking hours under your roof. We have a strategic opportunity, yes, to grow the business profitably through this, and a moral responsibility to invest in the human side of the business. Not 20%, but 100%. What I learned in Athens, Greece, is that Epicurus, after Plato and Aristotle, he did his teaching not in an academy, not with a tuition, but in the National Garden. And that National Garden was open for everyone to walk into when they were ready. So what I would leave your listeners with today is this. What is your version of an Epicurean garden? So that you can help not 20%, but 100% of your employees thrive and flourish, not just on the job, but in life as well. It can be as simple as a book club that I've seen, or it could be as sophisticated as hiring a life coach for everybody, as I've seen as well. It could be bringing Dirk in for your meetings to bring this thinking to your leadership teams and lead workshops for you. But in the end, I'll leave you with this. Remember, you're not just running a business, you're shaping lives.